I've got a special treat for you, and I'm really blessed to be sharing this with you. Today we're going to be doing some really intensive training. I've seen this training change the face of my team considerably in the last week. So we're really looking for mass action. We're looking to implement those goals that we've seen in convention from Joel Thieler. Just by a show of hands, who's here for the first time and has never actually seen an opportunity meeting? Okay, all right. So if some of this might not make sense to you, we're gonna go through the opportunity meeting at 1 o'clock, but we really wanted to do the training first today because we found that getting our guests here is just far more effective getting them here at once. So we're going to go through rank training, the requirements to get to rank, and obviously if we want to start something like this, we need to start by getting you guys really into all of it. So I have a very special friend, and she's been my friend for a while, but I never knew that she had this special skill set. So Annie has actually been around in Syntek for quite a while, and it's only really in the last week or two that I've really connected with her, and I'm going, I never knew you could do such cool things. So she's going to be doing an NLP, is that right? An NLP exercise with us, just to get us started and into all of this. I urge you to lend her your ears. It's the first time she'll be doing training for us, so make her feel welcome, Miss Anna. Morning, everyone. Morning. Can you hear me at the back? Alright, I'm going to try and speak loud. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. I don't know when last I stood in front of a lot of people. I've been in the corporate market, I've done this plenty of time. So, excuse me if I'm a little bit green, but I'll get better as we go along. Who of you know about NLP, which is called Neuro-Linguistic Programming? Okay, so there are a few. Have you worked with it? Have you trained in it? Or just come across it? Okay, great stuff. So you guys will be able to help out if I get stuck somewhere. Neuro-linguistic programming has been around for quite a number of years. I did my initial training when I first came to South Africa about 20 years ago. The word neuro-linguistic programming means neuro, brain, linguistic, language, programming, how we program language and brain together. So everybody responds different. Everybody takes in information, you process it in your brain, and you give an output. And we're all unique. We all have a different way of communicating. We all have a different way of responding. And all of that has got to do with linguistics and the brain. So I thought, I was a bit sleepless 2 nights ago, and I thought, I've got so much material, but what can I do that's very effective in a very short space of time? So I thought I'm going to do 2 exercises with you. There's 3 types of ways that we process information. And this has got to do with the type of personality that you are, the kind of person that you are. It doesn't put you in a box. NLP doesn't put anybody in boxes. So you're not a this or a that. You a range of things. Everybody's got exactly the same. Certain things are just more predominant than others. So we get 3 types of people in the way that you access information and you give it back. The first one is visual. Who, when you talk to somebody or people speak to you, who in the room finds pictures in their brain? Okay. So when I speak to you, I'm going to talk to you in, do you see what I'm saying? You get the picture, that kind of thing. So you talk that kind of language to connect with that kind of person. Then we've got a lot of all musos basically is those kind of people. That is your auditory kind of person. Who's auditory? Auditory meaning, if I say to you, it rings a bell, does that fit with you? Right? So it's all about the ears. So musicians are very much about the ears. So when you speak to a musician and you're having a conversation with them and you want to get a point across to them, you need to speak. Sorry. You need to speak sound language. Then you get your feeling, that person who's the emotional type of person. They are called kinesthetic. So that means you're going to talk to them and say, Do you get a feeling for what I'm trying to say to you? Or how does it make you feel? So you're going to talk feeling language. To recognize people like that is you start a conversation with them and they will give you that information. But you need to be alert to pick it up. Because if you want to get into rapport with those people and get them basically influenced, you need to speak their language. Otherwise, a visual person, a kinesthetic person, let me tell you now, they're going to battle. You're going to battle to sign a person like that on. So I'm going to do a couple of little things with you basically, just to illustrate something. And when you look at a person, when you sit with a person and you ask a couple of questions, just on their eye movements alone, you will, 80% of the time, you'll be able to pick up what kind of person is sitting in front of you and then what you have to do with it. When I first was introduced to that, I had a lot of fun. I would watch a lot of TV. So, especially politicians. It's great because you know just when they're talking the biggest load of nonsense and then you get the one or two that's actually talking the truth. So I'm going to show you really what it does, how to pick it up and go and have some fun with it. Because at the end of the day, you're going to sit in front of a person you don't know. So these little nuggets that I'm giving you might just be able to help you a little bit in your communication skills with a prospect. Okay. So the first one, sorry, I can paint wildlife beautifully, I cannot draw faces. So please excuse my faces. Alright, the first one, as I said to you, is a visual orientated person. So that's your visuals. Alright. When a person, I'm going to stand in front of you now, so this is now, I'm going to draw it like you're looking at me. Alright, so your right is my left and my left is your right. Okay. If a person talks to you and you ask them a question, let's say for instance you're asking them, when last did you have a good meal? Alright, the eye movement, very important. Alright, they are going to look up to your left. And the reason for that being is, it's called visual recall. Alright, so when they remember something out of their experience, their eyes will go up to the right. So it will be like, then they go and find a picture of that experience, and that is how you can pick up very quickly. So when you start with a new prospect, ask a couple of questions so that you can pick up those eye movements. Right. Then, if they go this way, it's called visual construct. Sorry. Construct. Just going to leave it like that. So now you ask a person, so what kind of money would you want to earn in this business? And they're going to go, I think about 500,000 Rand. Right. So you see the difference. Experience that they've lived through will be what they pull out on their right, on your left-hand side. Alright? They're recalling information. If a person pulls out of this side, they're creating. Right, and that is where you can pick up if people are talking the truth or not from time to time in various circumstances. Okay, so guys comfortable with that? Can you have some fun with that? Yeah. Alright. Visual people, you will find they're very energetic as well. Alright. You will find that they breathe from the upper half. Alright. You'll find that their posture is normally straight up, very determined, know where they're going. They sit upright, they're generally very organized people as well, and they might speak in a higher tempo than most other people. Right. Now we get to our auditory people, people that function on sound, language, sound experiences. They experience things by sound. Yeah. So I just need to remind myself real quickly. Okay, same thing. Auditory people will generally look towards the side, here. Visual people up, auditory people towards the side, okay? So you'll have this DD doing the same. He's recalling, but you're recalling sound language, and This duty here will construct. Okay, same principle. You look sort of like to the side, might turn their heads, eye movements. As I said, it doesn't mean we're putting you in a box, because sometimes a person might look up, they might look down, depending on the circumstances of the conversation. Right, because we all feel, we all hear, and we all see pictures in our brain. All right. So, but generally, you will find a person, with them, their breathing is a little bit lower, they'll be a little bit quieter, so they won't be like upbeat and crazy and almost like a red personality. So you'll be able to find, and they'll sit and they'll watch what you have to say, because they're taking in words, all auditory. Right. Then you get, okay, there's one more. When they look down to this side, they're thinking. So this is a very analytical kind of person, because they will recall and they'll construct, and then they'll sort of like go, I'll think about that. Right. So those are 3 eye movements that generally the auditory kind of people would do. Now your last one is your kinesthetic kind of personality, or kind of person. I don't want to put it personalities. They tend to do this as well, and then the same as what we've got this side. So a kinesthetic kind of people live on feeling, their emotion. So when you speak to them and you ask them, okay, when last did you have a good meal? They will basically look down and go like, about 2 nights ago. Right. And then if you ask them how much money would you like to earn in the business, they'll go, I think about 500,000. So with them you'll have to probably speak a little bit more, because you need to connect on a feeling base. So for a visual person, this can be very difficult to do. But you can train yourself. Successful salespeople, they're not born like that. It's the same with you in the room. No, I don't think very many is actually born salespeople. I know I'm not. I hate sales. But the skills can be taught and the skills can be learned. So in NLP, they teach you a lot of this stuff. They teach you rapport skills. They teach you certain non-verbal language. We call it, generally people call it body language. So those are little skills that you can learn so that you can connect with another person on their level, not yours, their level. But if you're not aware of those things, sometimes you're just not going to connect. The person's going to look at you like this with a blank face and go like, you're wasting my time, or just get over it, or please. Or just give me the facts. You're not giving me the facts, I'm not buying. Right. So this is little experiences like this that we can elaborate on as we go along with training. So it just gives you a little bit of an idea of the type of people that you can meet. So I've got a very quick exercise for you. I want you to think of a situation that you found yourself in with a person where you walked out and you thought, oh my gosh, what on earth happened there? Or I really messed up. So I want you to think of a situation like that. Any situation, doesn't have to be business, can be personal, it could be, I don't know, anywhere where you, excuse the expression, stuffed up. Okay, everybody got something? Right. The next one is, who were the characters involved? Obviously you would be involved, and who else was in that situation? Was it a business meeting like this? Or was it a one-on-one? Or was it a couple of people? Right, everybody got that? Okay. Then I want you to think about the thoughts in that situation. What did you experience? Your feelings, your emotions, your, oh gosh, the goof flesh, you know, that kind of thing. Think of what happened in that situation. And just hold on to those like, oops, moments. Then, think about the behavior. What did you say? Or what did you do to sort of like create this uncomfortable experience? Right, so you all sort of like in a way reliving that moment. I can always teach you how to disassociate from it, but it will take another 2 hours to do that. Then think about what was the outcome. It's like, I walked out of that meeting and I really, really messed it up. What on earth did I do? And then think about what could you have done different, just based on the information that I've given you now. Okay, does that make sense, guys? Play with it. And if you mess up, go and use these techniques and think back of it and go like, you know what, I did that and I missed that point, or I missed that word, this person gave me a kinesthetic kind of personality, and yeah, I'm babbling on in a visual sense, and no wonder I walked out there feeling like, you know, I've lost the plot. So when you get those circumstances, play with it, because the more you play with it and the more you become aware of it, it's like a habit. You get in a car, when you learn a driver, you don't know what to do with the clutch and the handbrake and everything all at the same time. Eventually you get in the cars, we don't even think about it. Sometimes I don't even know how I got to my destination, because it becomes a habit subconsciously. Therefore, the neurons in your brain has basically created a space for that experience. So if you do it over and over and over again, it will become a natural phenomenon to you. Alright. So that's me. Has anybody sort of like, well, I hope you all got something out of it. Right, I said like that, it's not some confusion. I talk too much, I'm very visually orientated. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate it, and I hope you can have some fun with it and that it will be helpful.